Welcome to Monday's homework. We're going to start off with this triangle, and the instructions are to solve for x. You can do this one of two ways. One way would be the harder way. I would say just use the Pythagorean theorem, which of course is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Where we don't care really what a and b are, but c needs to be the longest side, which in this case is 2, so it would be 2 squared equals, we'll call x a, so that's x squared plus 1 squared. Oops. So you can totally do it that way. In fact, I think it's pretty easy. However, there is another way, and that would be to remember that this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. 30, 60, and if you recall that triangle, remember the hypotenuse is 1. Remember that across from the 30 was 1 over 2. And over here was root 3 over 2. And remember, if we call this x, then this becomes x over 2, and it becomes x root 3 over 2. So if we were to use this, in this case, x equals 2, so we would have 2 root 3 over 2, which just equals root 3. Okay, I actually find the 30, 60, 90 triangle, if you can remember it, is very easy for this. However, if you can't, you go over here. You know that 1 squared is 1, and 2 squared is 4. So you subtract 1 from both sides, you get x squared equals 3. You get x equals the positive square root of 3, since we know it's not negative. So either way, you get root 3. So that's what x equals. So now we have this triangle. Let me go ahead and orient the same way, where we have 30 degrees here, and this 1, 2, root 3.
Can I get my late word?
What were you not here for?
Yesterday.
Yesterday? You owe me a test.
A test. Are you going to be here after school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can I get when I come after school, can you give me my late work for this semester?
What things that you're missing?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Sorry about the interruption. So this is what we have. And we are asked, what is sine of 30 degrees? So remember that from the 30 degrees, this would be opposite. This would be hypotenuse. So sine of 30 is 1 over 2. Cosine of 30, this would be the adjacent, would be root 3 over 2. Tangent of 30 equals 1 over root 3, but of course you're not going to keep it 1 over root 3. We're going to multiply by root 3 on the top and the bottom, and we're going to get root 3 over 3. Now we're still going to use this triangle, but then we're asked for, and I know you won't be able to see this, I'll move it down in a second, but sine 60, cosine 60, tangent 60. And we have to realize that this is 60 degrees, because that's what you need to make 180 for the whole triangle. So sine of 60, so the opposite of 60 is root 3, so it's root 3 over 2. Note the relationship here and here. Sine of 60 is the same as cosine of 30. Cosine of 60, this would be the adjacent, that would be the hypotenuse, it would be 1 over 2. Note the relationship between cosine 60 and sine 30, it's the same. And tangent of 60 would be root 3 over 1, but root 3. Okay? And moving on, we have other triangles, where we have to find A and B. So we can do this a couple different ways. Okay, this is 30 degrees, 15 A and B. Okay, so we can totally solve this with ratios. So for example, if I use tangent, I know that the tangent of 30 degrees equals a over 15, and then I can solve that. A equals 15 tangent 30. Here's the cool part. There we go. Let's see. Let's make sure I get that in the picture. You can totally use a calculator for this. However, you have already told me what tangent 30 is. Tangent 30 is root 3 over 3. So kind of the cool part here is that this is going to be 15 times root 3 over 3. Or we can reduce that to 5 root 3. That would be an awesome way of doing it. If you get me a calculator approximation, let me get my calculator out actually, you're going to get, let's see, tangent approximately 8.66, and that's fine. I would accept 8.66. However, we already have solved for tangent 30. We can keep it easy that way. Another way to do it would be to draw, oops, come back here. Okay, this triangle, and once again we have a 30, and then this is 60, and we know the hypotenuse is 1. We know that across from the 30 is 1 over 2, and we know that this is root 3 over 2. And so this would be x, this would be x over 2, and this would be x root 3 over 2. And we could say, well, x root 3 over 2 equals 15. Now this may not look very nice to you. However, it's going to give us a small advantage in that it's really going to make we're going to solve both a and b here real quick. So if I want to find what x is supposed to be, and so first thing is to multiply 2 to both sides, and I get 30. And then I divide by root 3, and I get 30 over root 3, which equals, I'm going to multiply both sides, top and bottom I mean, by root 3, and I get 30 root 3 over 3, which equals 10 root 3. So that's what x is. X is 10 root 3. So what is b? Well, b must be 10 root 3. What is a? Well, a must be 10 root 3 over 2, which is 5 root 3, which we already found using the tangent. So you can totally use the 30, 60, 90 triangle, or you can use trig ratios. And so I'm going to continue using trig ratios. I did tangent to find what a was. Now I'm going to use cosine. So cosine of 30 degrees equals 15 over b. And if I solve that for b, I'm going to get b equals 15 divided by cosine 30. And you already told me what cosine 30 was. Cosine 30 is root 3 over 2. So this equals 15 root 3 over 2. If I flip this upside down and stick it on top, I'm going to get 2 times 15 is 30 over root 3. And we already know that 30 over root 3 equals 10 root 3. Okay, so I mean it just doesn't matter. Oh, you can also use this in a calculator. If I did 15 divided by cosine 30, I'm going to get about 17.32. And that's totally acceptable as well. But here I'm using a calculator less. And I mean I just spent a few minutes giving this to you 2 different ways. So, you know, I know that maybe it feels long, but it's not that long. It's only that I was showing you both ways. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw this triangle. So this is 60, and this is 8 root 6, and this is a, b. So I'm going to set up tangent to find a. I'm going to go tangent 60 equals 8 root 6 over a. And so that means that a equals 8 root 6 over tangent 60. And you already told me what tangent 60 is, so you can figure that out. Okay, and you can do something similar with b, except for you're going to use sine. You would use sine as 8 root 6 over b, and solve. If you were going to use this triangle that's up here, we know that across from the 60 is the x root 3 over 2, so it's going to be x root 3 over 2 equals 8 root 6. Sorry. Okay, multiply both sides by 2, I get x root 3 equals 16 root 6. Divide by root 3, I get x equals 16 root 6 over root 3. This is actually the same thing as 16 root 6 over 3, which equals 16 root 2, because 6 divided by 3 is 2. So x is 16 root 2, so from there you could figure out what the hypotenuse must be and what this side across from 30 must be. Doesn't matter how you do it. Well, obviously, I left you some work to be done on what a and b are for this last triangle, but you should be well on your way. So good luck. Bring your questions tomorrow.